but this is for my highly anxious people who have a hard time sleeping or resting down, or just from anyone who suffers from insomnia. So let me give you a quick analogy of how your physiology and your nervous system is currently operating so you can know that there's nothing wrong with you, and then also give you a quick tip on how to kind of work through this. So when we're highly anxious, we can say that we are kind of chronically stuck in a sympathetic flight response within the nervous system. This is your mobilizing response to help you to flee, run away, escape, or distract from whatever the threat is. Now, when you experience a sympathetic response within the nervous system, you are inundated or flooded with the mobilizing hormones of adrenaline and cortisol to mobilize you to fight or flee. So when we're stuck in chronic states of anxiety, we are mobilized, we are on the go, we are busy, we are staying distracted or anxious all the time. Which is why it's really hard for us to rest down or go into our rest and digest, or what we call our ventral state of safety and connection. So what can we do? Well, you might be finding that winding down is hard for you. And if you think about it like a pressure cooker, okay, throughout the day, your system and your physiology has been building up all this pressure of adrenaline and cortisol, okay, and this pressure cooker is about to implode. So there's no amount of resting down, there's no amount of slowing down or sleeping when you are literally running, physiologically running from a tiger. It's not time to sleep. It's not time to rest. It's not time to pause. So what we need to do with this pressure cooker is, instead of winding down, we actually need to wind up. What do I mean by that? We need to allow our nervous system, our body, to lift the lid and let off some of that pressure. We call this discharging. We need to discharge or express and expel some of that adrenaline and cortisol so that your pressure cooker starts to come down a little bit so that you can rest. So how can we discharge some of these hormones from the body? You can do simple things for just 1 to 2 minutes before bed, like heel drops. So rising up on your toes, dropping down, rising up, dropping down. You want to do something that gets your heart rate slightly elevated, but not too much. You could do things like wall sits, which is where you essentially sit against a wall with your legs at 90 degrees. I'm not very good at that, okay? And there's no seat underneath you. You could do that for 30 seconds and you'll feel that your leg muscles will start to tremble, okay? That trembling in the muscles and the fascia means that you're letting out some of that adrenaline and cortisol. Now, I'm not saying that you should go on a full-blown workout, that you should go on a run, because that could activate your system more. You want to do something for only a minute or two. After you've done your wind up and expelled or expressed some of that energy, then you want to take time to then wind down. And if you want an example of how this naturally works in real life, just look at young kids. I currently have a baby and a toddler at home, and every night before our bedtime routine, my toddler ramps up and he gets wild and crazy. He does the night zoomies. Any parent knows what I'm talking about. This is his nervous system, his body, his physiology's way of naturally trying to express and expel all of that pent-up toddler energy so that he can then naturally come back to a place of rest and digest and get a good night's sleep.